Hello, sysfailure here again, and welcome back to the Ultimate Command series. So today we're having a look at the particle command, which is /particle. That first came in snapshot 14W04A, or official release 1.8. Before I show you the command, if you've got settings disabled in your options, which is under your video settings and particles, if you have that as minimal, they won't show up. Not sure about reduced. I didn't actually check. So particles all if you want to see them, pretty much. So what is the particle command? Well, it's a command, if you watch right here on my screen. It makes particles appear. So particles are things, well, like if I land here, them. If you splash around in water, rain hitting the ground, we'll see magical crits, and so on. And obviously explosions, TNT, etc. They're all particles. So let's have a look at the particle command. So it works as follows. You have particle at the beginning. Then the name of your particle. Now you can find all of these on the wiki. There are a whole load of particles. And here we have our location. So this one is actually X, where it's being summoned. One up relative, so there. And one across in Z, which is there. Just so you can see it, not in the way of the sign. These ones are spread in the X, Y, and Z direction. And then over here we have the speed and then the count. Now, you don't have to have the count, or you can have 0, but that will always give you one particle. Anything higher than 1 will give you more, as I'll show in a minute. So that's why we get one particle right there. As I said, there is a variety of them. So this one we've put in large explode. Exactly the same. One up, one across, no spread, and one particle. I have to stand back because it's quite a large one. There you go. And finally in the examples, I just have explode, which is the one we're going to be using for the rest of the examples. Same thing again. Make it appear here, no spread, one particle, and there it is. Little puff. Now, I said you can have obviously more than one particle, and that's the number at the end here. So I want to do the particle 10 times now. Again, one up, one across, no spread, and 0 speed. Press that. There you go, 10 particles at that point. And again, 100 if I want. Press the button, 100 particles there. Now, if you pull up the F3 screen, you'll see there on the top left, 5 lines down, it says P. That's actually the particles in the area. So if I press that one, you see 10 particles. Wait for that to also drift away. And press that one, 100 particles. And all gone. So none of them moved, apart from sort of drifting up. That's just the effect of the particle itself and some of them. But you can actually make the particles move around. So as I said, these 3 are where it happens. These are the spread, these 3. And this one here is the speed. In this case, I'm going to have a speed of 0.1 and 100 particles. So press the button. And you'll see they're spreading out from that point, a little puff. This one, I've set the speed to 1. And if I press that one, oof, out they go. So that's how you make them move. Area effect. As mentioned, these were all zeros because I was saying no spread. I now set them to 5 in every direction here. And again, I've turned the speed off and I want 1,000 particles. So what that should do is it should do 5 in that direction, that direction, that direction, that direction, that direction, and that direction. So if I press the button, there we go. So that appears in that area. Now you might be seeing that and thinking, well, that sort of looks like it's probably bigger. Well, oddly it is, and I honestly can't explain why. So I've got a barrier particle one here. These are the little things that you see appearing whenever you place barrier blocks. And I'm going to have 1,000 of them with a 5 by 5 by 5 spread. press the button, you'll see they're actually spreading all the way over here, and that's clearly far beyond 5 blocks. Why it spreads quite so far, I don't know. So do experiment with them for the range that you want it to go. Also, if I pop that out back, you notice they spawn in a sort of spherical fashion. Also, barrier blocks are slightly odd in the respect that I'm summoning 1,000 of them there, so you would expect 1,000, and I've got 1,000 explode there, so you would expect 1,000. Pull up their free screen again, explode particles, watch the P, I get 1,000. Do it again, 1,000 again. Barrier, again for 1,000, 966. Try it again, 973. So for some reason the barrier one doesn't necessarily do as many as it claims, and the amount it does varies. Again, another little oddity. We're now going to look at force. So at the end of your command here, there's obviously nothing, but you can write the word force on the end. Now what does force do? Well, this one is going to be a distant command, so 20 blocks in that direction. I want to go ahead and summon explode particles and 100 of them. Press the button. Nothing. Pull up the free screen. You'll see that the particles are not even changing. The reason for that is that the maximum distance you can see a particle at normally is 16 blocks. So obviously 20 in that direction, plus however many I am over here, is beyond 16, so I can't see them. We take the exact same command and put force on the end, however. That forces them to be visible basically as far as you can see in the world. So this time, there they are. Just over there. Be a little careful with the force one, because it does mean everybody can see them, and if you have too many of them going on, well, you can pretty much stack Minecraft. That's the same with spawning too many of them. I mean, I've only got 100 there, that's not a lot. But start doing thousands, you can cause yourself problems. The final little bit, you may have seen recolored particles. Well, if you read the wiki, you will set up a command like this. So there's your particle, and red dust, and that's just spawning, in this case, one up, one across, so we can see it. And these, the spread ones, it actually now uses them as RGB, red, green, blue values. Red dust has a red value of 0.8 to 1 by default. So to turn the red off, you have to do -1, so offset it basically. So a -1, and then 1 on the green and a 0 should give us a green particle. If we press the button, we have a red one, as you can see. The same mob spell and mob spell ambient. By default, they are 0, 0, 0 because they're black. So adding 1 on the green channel, I should now have a green one. But I have a black one. What's going on? Well, it doesn't mention it on the wiki, but you actually have to take the speed and set it to 1 or more. Once you've done that, these do recolor. On the end, make sure that your particle count is 0, because you can't do this with more than one particle at a time, and I'll show you why in a minute. So this one, I've taken the red off, I've added in green, and I've made sure it's got a speed of 1. And now if I press it, green particles, just like that. Same with our mob spell ambient. 0, 1, 0, giving it a speed of 1. And now, green particles. That's the little one you see coming off of potions and things. Final bit, as I said, more than 0, so I want 100 of them. And you're going, alright, so I've got 100, and I'm trying to colour them or something. No. Once you go ahead and have a count of more than 0, it gives you random coloured particles, which are quite pretty, to be honest. And it turns these back into the spread from that location. So that's the particle command. As per usual, you can download the world in the description below and have a play with this and all the previous ones, heading way off into the distance back to the pyramid there. and I hope you found it useful. So, as per usual, thanks for watching, and bye-bye. I tell you, these corridors just seem to go on forever, door after door after... What the hell? Okay, well, that was a little bit odd. Oh, it's a merry-go-round! Oh, I haven't seen one of those in ages.